Welcome to Outdoors Radio with Dan Small, your source for the latest hunting and fishing information.
Thanks for joining us on Outdoors Radio. I'm Dan Small. Well, it's time for our update on Lake Michigan fishing in the Sheboygan area, sponsored as always by Dumper Dan's Sport Fishing Charters, Condos, and Riverfront Store right there on South Pier Drive in Sheboygan and on the web at dumperdan.com. You can also find him on Facebook at Dumper Dan Sport Fishing Charters. Also sponsored this week by Dave's Who's In, 835 Indiana Avenue in Sheboygan, and on Facebook at Dave's Who's In. Well, joining us once again from Sheboygan, Dumper Dan himself, Dan Welch. Well, Dan, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Dan. I am back, and I am, you just mentioned Riverfront Store, and I'm standing in my store watching all 6 of my boats back up into the dock as we speak. They're just coming back in from their fishing trips with our clients.
Oh, my goodness. So you're going to be busy in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be coming this way pretty quick. But,
Okay.
they're all docking. They're all getting fish off right now, and they're going to go hang them up and take some pictures. So fishing report here is improving by the day, by the minute. It just depends on air temperature, as you know, Dan. We got to get that water warmer. We're unseasonably cool. Everybody, water temperature-wise and air temperature on the lake. I mean, it's comfortable, but it's still cool for this time of the year. And I'm hearing that from a lot of customers of mine from all over the Midwest, not just Lake Michigan, but elsewhere. They're witnessing the same thing. And summer's coming. It'll be here. It's pretty nice now, but water temps on the surface right now where we're fishing, which is about 5 to 8 miles offshore, is where we're catching fish. It's 48 degrees on the surface, and it's 45 degrees down 50 feet. So pretty chilly, but fish are biting in that, Dan. We are coming in with a variety of...
These fish, I mean, they got a real hard mouth, and they're this cold water, they're real active. I mean, 48, 49 degrees surface temperature here on Lake Michigan. So they're going to thrash, fight, jump, run. So it's hard to get them all in the boat. I mean, you're going to lose some fish here, but it's fun when you get in a school of them because you get 4 or 5 on at one time.
Trout and salmon, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So for folks who are not familiar with water temps and fish preferences, what do the salmon like?
Anything in the 50s, Dan, is always good. 50 to 60 is just primo. And what they do is they put the feed bag on and they start chasing tackle, they chase bait, they eat. That's what they do, and that's their comfort zone of temperature. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold, but anything in the 50s is good. And we're close right now with that. And on a sunny day, believe it or not, Dan, it'll get to 50, 51 degrees on the surface, but you get the cloudy days and it drops back down to 48. So yeah. We just need some sunshine, and everything's going to take off like gangbusters here on Lake Michigan.
Yeah, so you're catching a mixed bag, are you, out that far?
We are. We're running still south of town. It seems like them fish don't want to move north right now. We've been fishing the same area, my fleet of 6 boats, on a daily basis. We set at about 5 to 8 miles south, anywhere from 5 to 8 miles south, in water depths of 180 out to 280, and then we troll south and north and south. So we got a nice school of fish there. It's basically off of Oostburg, Cedar Grove area, and Harrington Beach area, and that's where we're catching these fish. Mostly coho, Dan, good eating size, grilling size, 4 to 6 pound coho is beautiful fish, good to eat. And we're catching a few kings, rainbows, and Lakers mixed in with them cohos, but mainly it's been the coho salmon, which we enjoy targeting. But I just, eventually they'll start moving a little closer to town.
Yeah, and they move up the shore. They keep going, don't they? They don't stick around all summer.
Well, they do, yeah. We don't catch them all summer long, and that's a good question. Then we're onto the rainbows, the kings, and well into the summer pattern, of what's normal. But right now, the cohos kind of are just stopped where they're at. We've been fishing them in that same area for 2 weeks straight now, and it's a good thing they're there, because I'll tell you what, I talked to a lot of charter boat captains that are north of me, all the way up into Door County, and it's a tough bite for them right now, unfortunately, because their water temps are 38 to 42 degrees. It's even colder north of here.
Wow, so, yeah. Well, it's a good thing.
We're pretty fortunate.
Good thing you got decent, if not ideal temperatures, at least decent enough, and fish accessible. That's cool.
Exactly.
And how are you catching them? You're trolling flashers and flies primarily?
Well, that's, that little red dodger, the little red dodger with the green peanut fly, we call it, is just red hot. And you run that on planer boards, you run it on dipsy divers, and you can run it on downriggers in the top 40-foot range, and they catch fish like crazy, cohos.
Yep.
But then we run spoons for the cohos, and then we run 8-inch flash or fly combinations for the kings and the Lakers, and then we run larger spoons for the Lakers as well. So we got a spread of 20 baits in the water at one time on every single charter, targeting everything. So the variety is the name of the game, this time of the year, and it's happening. It's slowly happening, and the cohos are there in numbers. So them are number fish, and we land some bigger ones in between, being rainbow, laker, or king.
Yeah, and speaking of kings, you say there's a big king coming in now. You haven't weighed him yet, huh?
Yeah, he's coming in on boat 3 right now. I got a picture of the fish. We haven't weighed at the scales in our store. We're going to weigh it here. The guy is getting it mounted, our customer. Very excited, and the picture, it looks huge. It's our biggest king of the year for sure, but I'll have it on our Facebook page here shortly, so you'll be able to see that fish, but a very nice looking fish, king salmon. We did have a couple lake trout come in yesterday and this morning that were 20, 21, 23 pounds. There was a 25-pounder caught the other day, so there's some big hefty fish out there too besides the cohos.
All right. Well, our second sponsor this week is Dave's Who's In, and there are a lot of strange names for bars, but that's got to be one of the most memorable, I'll say, I guess.
That's true, but my name's Dumper Dan, and that's kind of unique too.
Yep. Well, I've told you this many times. You latched onto that nickname that they gave you when you were a kid, and people don't forget it.
Nope, I'm glad I called the boats in my business that, because you hit it, Johnny, on the spot there. They don't forget it, and people remember that name, and that's big for my business for sure. They keep coming back, and they recognize the name, and Dave's Who's In too. I mean, he's been around as long as I have, really. I mean, He's been in that business forever, and a very good friend of mine. He used to shoot pool for his bar for many, many years. He does pool leagues, dart leagues. And what's unique with his too, Dan, is Dave's Who's In, is he's got the miniature bowling league too. So there's a lot of different things to do at Dave's Who's In. He's got a full menu, full bar, walking distance to my place. You can see it right outside my store. I'm looking at it right now. So easy to get to here in downtown Sheboygan.
All right. Well, Dan, we're going to let you go because I know you got fish to weigh and probably the next group ready to go out. And we will look for that big king and post it on our page as well. And hope that the fishing continues to be as good as it is now.
Yep, we'll keep at it, and it's going to get better and better as the sun keeps beating on the water, warming up our water temperatures, and we're looking forward to a very action-packed, exciting summer, Dan. All
right. Well, we'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks.
You got it. Thank you, Dan. Get a hold of me, 920-377-1147 for a reservation, dumperdan.com, or our Facebook page, Dumper Dan Sport Fishing Charters. Thank you.
All right. Dan Welch with the Lake Michigan Sheboygan Area Fishing Report, and he's got his hands full now with 6 boats at the dock bringing fish in, so we'll let him go and talk to him again in a couple weeks. I'm Dan Small, more Outdoors Radio, right after this.